You guys in order to bring on out the?
Me on the very end, I see.
I can still talk. I'm not, I can't, I play the trumpet and French horn.
My mom played the French horn. I'm thinking, my mom played she's still got a crooked finger from playing so much.
I played with Greg was good. This is our regular board meeting. This is our last regular board meeting for the 2021 year. We meet the second Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock right here. So we welcome you to come anytime. And the best part of our meetings is when our kids show up. So we are very, very happy to have Mr. Darty here with his band. This is your brass choir. Yes, and we're going to get to hear from them. But the first thing on our agenda tonight is a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Let our roll call note that Mr. Hammond's not here with us tonight, but all other members are. Item 1C is the reading of board team commitments. I can do that. Do we have a copy in our packet? You know, I can probably read that better than I can the computer. Unfortunately, I'm blind. I'll read this tonight. 14 commitments for Rockcastle County Schools. To improve our effectiveness, the board team for Rockcastle County Schools commits to review processes and experiences to identify and direct improvements, continuously define and work toward long-term goals which serve all students of the district, make each decision based on facts and the best for all students, listen to each other and speak freely, work together, support each other, and not surprise one another. Discuss board deliberations to point of mutually agreeable resolution based on factual information. Support the majority's decision, projecting board unity toward shared goals for continuously improving district-wide student learning. Operate without personal or political agendas. respect one another, agree to disagree respectfully, delegate implementation to the superintendent and education team, and to respectfully remind each other of these commitments. Item 2 on our agenda is to adopt the agenda. Does anybody see anything that they would like moved? No? If not, I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor? Okay, and this is the fun part, okay? We have Miss McClure. It's going to be really hard for me to say that, Sandy. I'm sorry. But we have Broadhead Elementary School here tonight, and Miss Sandy, we welcome you.
Okay, thank you. We also have Miss Brianna Mullins with us.
Yes.
And we might start, I know she's
You,
got a
you
ball
want to,
game.
yes, please,
Yeah.
Brianna, yes.
Gonna celebrate her.
This was my request. So I was able to visit Broadhead today, and my eye caught the book machine. So when I was asking, like, how did this come about, because I'd never seen one before, she was telling me of whose idea it was, and she happened to come down the hallway. So I just was amazed that you had an idea, you had a passion for the kids, and like you rallied the troops. And you made it happen. And I said, I think every elementary school is going to want a book machine, you know, so rising waters lifts all boats. And I think with that goal that you had and that passion to do something like that for the kids, I think that will spread to other schools, even out of our district, because it's a beautiful machine. I like business. So I was like, that's really good marketing, even though it's not marketing, but like just the whole image of it and the feeling that the kids get. And I just admired that you had this idea and you made it happen for the kids. So I felt like she needed to be celebrated for that.
I think everybody in this room can attest that Miss Brianna is the heart and soul of Broadhead Elementary, and I mean,
Maybe a Broadhead.
yeah, I think we can widen that and say Broadhead, but we love you, Miss Brianna, and we're so thankful for your service to Broadhead Elementary and to all the kids that you touch, and you touch every single kid in that building. And
I told Miss Lakes today, I saw the idea like 2 years ago. I looked for a used vending machine just to save money, and we couldn't find one, so I bit the bullet, got a quote. It was a very expensive machine, but we had 3 local companies really help us out. Citizens Bank, Community Trust Bank, and EST Tool and I really stepped up and helped us. What they didn't cover, our PTG was able to cover, and cover the books that are in it. Anyone's welcome to come by and see it. It's right in the main hall. It's orange and black with a big tiger on the side, of course.
Of course.
What else? What other colors it gonna be?
None.
And I explained to Miss Lakes today, when you walk up to it, if you notice, everything on the lower, it starts at kindergarten and works its way up because the kindergarten kids can't see up high. So we purposely load it like that so they can see it. And our goal is for PTG to continue to put the books in it. And I think as of today, we gave out 23 books with their tokens.
Explain how they earn them. I love this too.
Well, it's kind of through the PBIS system, and then being a good friend, being a good student, being a good citizen. Yes, 2 days ago, I had 2 kids come up and get book tokens. They had picked up trash off the playground, so they got to get a token. Today, Miss Sarah Hasty brought a child up who had been struggling with her sight words since before Thanksgiving. She passed her whole sight word test. She got a token. We've had some kids who've just had a horrible day. They need something to lift them up, so they get a token. They get to come. They get to pick their book out. A couple have even picked up books that are a little bit too hard for them. I don't talk them out of any book because that's the book that catches their eye, and the only thing I can think of, that book caught their eye for a reason, whether it be somebody at home help them read it or they bring it back and one of us help them read it. And that's what we tell them. You know, they're more than welcome to come back and sit, and I'll read it with them. Miss Sasha read it with them. Miss Angie, Miss Sandy, whoever will help them read it. They don't get the token at first. They get a card. I showed Miss Lakes the card. It's actually got this tiger on it.
I have it.
Yeah,
I brought it with me.
You're not getting
it's got this tiger on it.
You don't get one.
And it says, congratulations,
She gave
you've
it to
earned a
me.
book token, please. And they bring it to me, and then we go out to the machine, and they get to pick their book.
and I've gotten the pleasure to go out. Miss Brianna invited me to come out, and I got to watch a student get the token and go get the book, and just to see the excitement and joy in the kids' eyes. I mean, it is a really, really
It
big
has
deal.
been a fantastic thing, and it takes a lot of fundraising and a lot of dedication by a lot of people. but if anybody can do it, it has been one of the major, our kids have loved it. They talk about it every day. They ask what they can do. I even had one come to me and he's like, so if I do this, could I get a book token? And I'm like, well, let's think about it. Let's think about if your teacher's gonna notice it or if somebody else is gonna notice it. So it's really been a great asset to our building, and I have wild ideas, and luckily past administration, hopefully Miss Sandy just rolls with my wild ideas because I tend to have big ones, but we have a great community and a great building, and they make it come true for us.
Miss Brian, I was telling
Yes,
Misty, for as long as I've known you, you have always tried to help people. And that just speaks your character and your integrity. And it's people like you that we want in our schools with our kids. So,
I enjoy it, and it's, I tell people all the time, I have a 15-year-old, most of you all know her, but I have 440 other kids too, and I can just about tell you everything about every kid in our building.
She said that.
And I love them, and I would do anything for them, and the book machine just raises their spirits through the day, and that's an extra thing for them. So I'm just glad to be able to help make it happen.
thank you so much.
Proud of you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
loving the kids.
That's right.
You know.
And she's very instrumental in the PTG, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it wasn't for our PTG, it wouldn't have happened either. Same with our school supplies. That's what I told Miss Lex today. That's made it
They
big
really
too.
work hard with that PTG down there. It's very hard.
Thank you.
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
Go
much.
cheer our Lady Rockets on.
Yes.
Yeah, go cheer them on.
You awesome data sheets. I will say I am very blessed to be a part of the BES school. And I just have some information I want to share with you about some results that we're getting and student achievement. I have given you copies of the latest iReady winner results. And first of all, I'll just start with, we are very fortunate to have you all as a dedicated group of people leading our school district. I appreciate that in all of you all. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment to our students and our community. And I know when you were reading those statements of just the commitments, those commitments and the mission that we have as a community to improve the education system for our students of Rockcastle County. They're our greatest asset. Our district is without a doubt better because we have each of you all as part of the team. So to get started, I do want to share and focus our minds on the Broadhead mission statement. BES believes that all students can become active, lifelong learners in a caring and cooperative environment. We believe everyone is born with this need to develop. We believe communication between the students, teachers and parents, and the community are vital for that development. Meeting physical needs is essential for children to be able to learn. And we also believe that every individual has worth, self-esteem, and self-discipline. And we expect all students to be responsible, always doing their best, always trying, value learning, communicate, and value themselves and others. So the mission statement, and through its development and communication, supports effective, just that vision of effective instruction. And Miss Brianna is just one example of our awesome and talented staff. For the 430 students we have at BES. I know she mentioned, I think this morning we looked, we have 398 and students and 32 preschool students. So what does this effective instruction look like? As the school year began, we were really excited to be in person. We realized there had never been a more important time to address learning loss. And we soon realized that our plans were going to have to be flexible, and we might have to adapt some things. So the most effective methods to address this so-called COVID slide that we were seeing would rely on some concrete understanding of the pandemic's impact on student learning. Early on, we began to look at some actual student achievement data. We used informal screeners, we used class assessments, observations, and the fall iReady diagnostic. We collected all those to compile and look at just projections to guide us to help us best meet the students at their point of need. And the fall iReady window, it opened on the first day of school in August, and it continued on through October 15th. So after the diagnostic, we gathered and compiled that information as evidence and realized we needed to really be thinking about the response to intervention, our RTI program, and really establish that it is built within our master schedule. And so we implemented a 30-minute reading intervention block to provide learning opportunities for our students that were finely attuned to their need. And so just looking at individual needs. And then the next stages for Tiger Nation was the creation of the Positive Behavior Interventions and Support, which is our PBIS team, as Ms. Brianna mentioned as well. We're in the early stages of that. I know the middle school has, they're in year 2, I believe. So
Implementation the first tier, yes.
yeah. So our PBIS team is very instrumental in driving initiatives forward, both school-wide and at the classroom level. And also,
Would you explain that to me, please, the PBIS team?
it is that positive behavior and intervention support team. And
When you
so,
say team, what does that consist of?
okay, so our team is composed of our guidance counselor,
Okay,
our our social emotional advocate,
okay.
and we have our family resource center on, our coordinator on there. We have a regular ed teacher and a special ed teacher, and Miss Brianna helps with that as well as an instructional assistant and myself.
Okay.
So we meet together and plan things moving forward as we look at the data and just building a culture of positive behavior and supports within our community, our school community. So with those folks, which is, it's great to have team players, those within that PBIS team, we do promote the positive behavior interventions and support. And they're also aligned with that social emotional wellness. And with that, I know Miss Misty was at our school today, and she asked about the social emotional advocate within the buildings, and it has made a great difference. Alongside with Miss Janice, the counselor, they work together in meeting with individual students and group students, and seeing, just meeting with kids and helping them to work with social skills. I know we've had a lot of isolation during COVID, and just helping kids to be able to relate with others and build those relationships and friendships with being back into the school setting. So it's very important that we had that extra support within our school setting. Also with the PBIS, we, the members, I think all of those members that are within that team, they all have a different lens that they look through. So that helps for us to be able to gather information from all of those individuals. And we establish a school-wide matrix, we review data, we adjust expectations, really promoting the PBIS to students and staff. And probably the most important thing is that we're ensuring that everybody's on the same page. And so in order for us to get on the same page and understand the purpose of the team, we have a lot of involvement and engagement from all stakeholders for the success of our school. And so one thing that we did plan was an iReady assembly, which we called it the Broadhead Winter Olympics, and had that assembly on November the 30th, which the iReady window opened on December 1st, and we thought, what better way to kind of get the kids motivated and engaged and excited about the iReady starting, December 1st. We wanted, during the assembly, we wanted to communicate the why for iReady, set and communicate goals, maintain communication that just continue to encourage excitement and momentum. So we had like 3 weeks left for December. We really wanted to get everybody going with some Tiger pride. So that, November the 30th, we took some time that afternoon to celebrate some achievements, recognize accomplishments, and encourage and motivate students and staff to finish 2021 with the BS Olympics and allow some time to let some tigers roar. We also reintroduced and reinforced a part of the PBIS, which is the acronym that we use at school is BEST, the B standing for be cooperative, the E, earn and give respect, the S, strive to be your best, and then the T, take responsibility for your words and actions. And that, of course, we announce that each day and talk that talk and encourage students and staff with that being your best by following these expectations. And so I know Miss Bryan also, being so instrumental with the PTG, she shared the assembly on Facebook Live to engage with the community. And again, that was the day before the iReady window opened. What results did we get? We got some really great things going on. I did give you a copy of that, and then I'll just kind of share with you school-wide reading overall, and they break it up into students that were 3 or more grade levels below, 2 or more grade levels below, 1 grade level below, if they were early on grade level or mid or above grade level. So in the fall, we had 28 students that were 3 or more grade levels below in reading. And that 28 went down to 14. So we have 14 students that are 3 or more grade levels below. Cut that in half. 2 grade levels below in the fall, we had 70 students that were 2 grade levels or below in the fall. We cut that in half to 35 students in this winter diagnostic. If they were 1 grade level below, we had 189 students, and now we have 172 students that are at that 1 grade level below. And then on the early or on grade level, we had 50 students that were there early on grade level, and that jumped to 78 students. So seeing a lot of things to celebrate here. If they were mid or above grade level, we had 24 students at the fall diagnostic. We now have 62 students that are at mid or above grade level.
Miss Sandy,
lot to
can I ask
celebrate.
you a question? Do you have any type of diagnostic that you can compare of the spring for these students compared to the fall? I mean, can you?
We can look back.
You can look back.
Yes, we can look back. Tonight I compared the fall results with the recent one,
Mhm.
but we are able to look back at student growth.
Is it consistent with these results?
Yes. iReady was new last year, and I think with a lot of PD and training and just learning the program and really getting into it, we're understanding it better and being able to share that with our staff and students. And that was part of that assembly. It was, really just talking the language and kids understanding, oh, that means if I'm on green, that means I'm on grade level.
Mhm.
So, they see this, and I think just really, like I said, talking that with the kids and with the staff about just encouraging them and really celebrating their successes. So we are seeing great things. Math, same thing. We had 30 students that were 3 or more grade levels below. We cut that down to 13. 2 grade levels below, we had 79 students in the fall, and we cut that down to 31 students. 1 grade level or below, 210 students, and went up on that to 219 students. That area right there it's hard to make those great gains, but we are seeing a lot of great gains in the areas, and a lot to celebrate and really recognize students for. The early on grade level, that doubled. We had 25 students in the fall, and that went to 52 students this winter. And then here's a final, we had 10 students in the fall that were mid or above grade level, and we now have 39 students. that are at mid or above grade level. So we're thinking, and the PBIS we're already thinking, what are we gonna do next? And so where do we go from here? We're gonna take this data and use it to make data-informed decisions during our PLCs, our interactions within the building, and with all other stakeholders in the community to really engage and motivate and keep pushing for student achievement. And it's like even Ms. Brianna sharing, when students come down and the difference that it makes when they have a little praise or encouragement, it really makes their day, and then it just makes ours as well. So we're going to continue to empower growth and have just the culture of student achievement and growth and being disciplined and just that motivation to be our best. And that's what Broadhead is all about.
Sandy, I would like to just comment quickly about how proud I am of the Broadhead staff from everyone in that building. I know is working tremendously hard in a time of really high stress for teachers, for instructional assistants, for our food service, for everyone in that building. Right now, school culture is a stressful environment from all over the United States. But seeing the student growth that Broadhead has experienced is really amazing, and that just goes down to the dedication of our teachers and really honing in and digging into individual students and being able to know those student needs. So kudos to Broadhead. This is some great work, and we're really proud of everybody in that building.
Yeah, it has been quite challenging, but you know, when you see things like this, it's like, oh,
it's encouraging.
Can I ask you a question? I was just looking at I'm a numbers person. I was just looking at the students that were assessed. Why that number? It didn't match your attendance.
There may be students still, the window is open through the end of this week.
Gotcha. Okay.
And some students were absent last week and the week before.
Okay. I was just wondering because they didn't add up. I was like,
I have one question. So your results from last school year, are these results much better than from last year? Because they were doing already as we sent them home, and then they reassessed, I guess, in the fall. Is that right?
Yes.
So did we have much more improvement this?
Yes. Seeing much better results, and the students in person as compared to virtual. We had a lot more students engaged into the iReady assessment as well.
how many students that would normally be at Broadhead are in virtual right now? Do you know?
We only have 9.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really
And I
good.
think 2 are coming back. 3 are coming back in January. So we're really excited about that. That's great.
I had no. What's your staff numbers?
We on classified, certified.
Both, if you know them off the top of your head.
We're right at like 55.
And that's combined?
That's custodial, and Janet, or the lunch ladies as well, cafeteria staff.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you all.
It's good to see you at Broadhead, but I know that you probably miss your Roundstone peeps too.
I miss my round. Yes,
Yeah,
always close connections.
yeah,
And we're all together as a district.
yeah.
That's the
I'm
most
sure
important
that,
thing.
I'm sure that the kids love you.
Yes, I do have a great passion for my kiddos. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Miss Sandy.
And you're always gonna be Sandy Hunter. I'm sorry, that's what I was getting ready to say earlier, Sandy Hunter, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item 3B, we have Mr. Greg here with us with the RCHS Brass Choir, and I have a soft spot for the band always, so Greg, tell us about your kids you brought today.
This, of course, is our brass ensemble, and I like to brag on these kids just a little bit. They spend time outside of the school day to prepare the tunes that you're hearing. They also perform at the Kiwanis tree lighting ceremony a couple weeks back, They'll be performing on Thursday night's music department showcase at the high school. And these folks are going to spend the first day of their Christmas break playing for the Broadhead Nursing Home, the Wayne Stewart Center, and we are the first live performance at the Rockcastle County Hospital since the COVID shutdown on Monday. So we're so excited. We just received word about that today. So the residents there are super excited, and all those activities coordinators are very excited to have this group come and play. So they're really good kids, and of course all of our band students are wonderful folks. But these folks give a little extra to put this ensemble together, and you know, it's a great experience for them to be able to play in a small ensemble chamber music setting, but it's also a great way to make community connections through all those different areas, because I know the residents enjoy seeing and hearing them so much when we come to perform. We really missed that last year during the shutdown, so we're really excited to see those folks next week.
Mr. Greg, am I correct that there's a performance on Thursday at 6 o'clock and at 7 o'clock?
Yes,
Is that correct?
we have two
Okay.
shows,
Okay.
6 and 7. So it'll feature our high school percussion ensembles, along with the brass choir and Miss Tammy's general chorus and her honors choir, along with my concert band. So a full Christmas extravaganza.
This Thursday. Yes.
Awesome.
It is a ticketed event, so if you'd like to come, just send myself or Miss Tammy Reynolds an email, and we will get you some tickets. All right. Well, we're ready to play a few tunes for you.
All right.
Just give us a minute to tune it up a little bit. All right, guys. Let's see control.
Oh, you get scared, aren't you, Mark?
Chicken.
Yeah, Michael, can you give us a minute?
Of course, that was one of my favorite tunes to hear brass choir play. God rest you, merry gentlemen. And next up, we have Jolly Old St. Nicholas. I get to be the percussionist for this next gig. Here is Jingle Bells. I think it's done great to hear.
Oh, yeah.
They're so
You're
good.
so good.
Yeah. That's kind of our A1 number job. It's to spread a little holiday cheer. And goodness knows we need it.
Yes.
And so they do a really good job of that. So thanks,
They
Miss
are.
Karen, for having us come
Absolutely.
by.
I think that I'll speak on behalf of the board, but I think we should make this an annual
Heck
event.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
back next Christmas.
Thank you all so
Thank
much
you
for your
so
time.
much. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
students, you bless us.
Yeah, and listen, you had talked about going to the Wayne Stewart Center. I used to work there, and Miss Jenny's mom works up there. And I'm going to tell you students something. The fact that you are willing to go up there and spend 5 or 10 minutes of your time with these folks, you have no idea what this means to them, because most of those people, and even the ones in nursing home, they have no family. They have no friends. They have nobody, even out in the community, that ever take time out of their day to just show them that they care. So when you go up there, it's more than just Christmas cheer. You're touching their hearts in ways that you'll never understand. And I'd like to know how many years you've been doing this now.
Don't make me tell.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
It's been a long time.
It's been a
This is
while.
year 28 for me.
You're 28.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you're
I've
a
been doing it a
blessing.
little while.
You've been doing it. You're a blessing. And I think I've always told my daughters this. There is one thing that everybody has in common in this world, and it's music. We may not all have the same type of music in common, but everybody goes to music for something. So it is a common denominator for all of us. So Merry Christmas. You have spread some Christmas cheer to us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you. You all be safe. Thank you too.
Santa Claus, we've been good this year, okay?
Kept notes.
And if any of you all would like to attend the 6 o'clock performance or the 7 o'clock, just let me know and I'll make sure that you have tickets there waiting.
I think I'm gonna try to go. I'm not sure. You're gonna go at 7.
Just let me know and I'll get
Okay.
tickets for you.
Well, that was a blessing.
So nice. I really enjoyed that.
So we're very glad that we got to experience that. Item 4 on our agenda tonight, we was going to have a special recognition for Mr. Hammond. He was not, he could not make it tonight. Miss Carrie has got a gift for him, and I'm sure she'll get that to him.
Yes.
And if you don't want to give it to him, you just give it to me. That's fine. We'll take it. No, I'm
Yes,
joking.
we'll reach out to
We'll
him and
reach
make
out.
certain that he receives this.
Yeah, but we do appreciate the time that he has spent, and I'm sure he's a very busy man, busier than we realize. So, item number 5 is operations and actions. Is there anything that you have any questions about? I had a question about the shortened school day. I know that we've done that in the past. That's something that we have to request from the state, right?
Exactly. Yes, and that requires medical documentation from a student's physician requesting that, and then we in turn turn that into KDE for approval.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions? Need to make a motion to approve operations and actions.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, item 6A, review and approve the monthly financial reports. Ms. Jenny?
You have the monthly financial reports loaded into your drive there. Are there any questions that you have about those reports? We'll be talking next month about budget, so we'll dive a little deeper into preparing for next school year. And we'll be excited to share that information with you.
And I believe, I'm not sure if this would be the time to do it. I believe also, normally we do our audit review in December, and I think that you had an email for us, Miss, I just wanted, since we were there. I think that our auditor had to be out of town, so we're gonna do that in January, is that correct, Ms. Jenny?
In January.
Yes, he had sent us an email that, telling us that we could go ahead and submit our AFR, and that Miss Jenny and I will be meeting with him prior to the next meeting to do our exit conference, and that he is in Arkansas during this week in December doing an audit, and that he will come in January, but had a very, very, good audit. He states it's been a pleasure to work. He has nothing but positive things to say, and compared to last year's audit, this is great improvement. So very positive results, and he'll be here in January.
I knew he always came, it was usually snowing, you know, a few times there's been snow on the ground. Yeah.
He was very complimentary of the work that our schools are doing in their school activity accounts, and they've made some great improvements in some areas that we had identified, and our bookkeepers do a wonderful job at our school level, and they've worked really hard to prepare for that audit, so we'll get to hear those great results.
Thank you, Ms. Jenny. I'm sure if anybody has any questions about the financial reports, you can always call her. Usually if I have questions, it would be after a meeting anyway, unfortunately, but we do need to make a motion to approve. Okay, need a second? All in favor?
Yep.
Item 6B, review and approve the workers' compensation employers' liability insurance for fiscal year 2022.
Okay, you have documentation in our quote from 2 providers provided by Hodgson's Insurance Group, and if you had an opportunity to review those, our recommendation, and just want to review some of the numbers here, the proposal is from recommendation we would like to make is from our current insurance provider for workers' comp is KIMI, the Kentucky Employers Mutual Insurance. And based on the attached quote that you had the opportunity to review, the option with KIMI is $55,771.35. This is an increase of $1,891.35 from the prior year. KIMI did apply the maximum schedule credit available to our district. We continue to have a low mod rate, and that's the rating criteria that our quote is based on. Our district and our schools, we do a great deal of risk management and training in the area of safety in all departments, and our rates continue to show the efforts that are made there. Based on the difference,
lowest quote, if you have that in front of you, the second quote was provided by, a group that we had not had the opportunity, I believe that's on page 13, to have a quote from before, but, they were slightly lower. Clear Path Mutual came in at $49,796. The reason for our recommendation for the higher quote is that we will have a dividend check coming from Kimmy based on our 2018 policy year in the amount of $12,830.17. If we went with a different carrier, we would forfeit that dividend. So we want to be able to take advantage of that dividend check from Kimmy. So that is our recommendation, to remain with Kimmy for 2023.
And that's a normal thing for them to do, a dividend check.
Yes.
I mean, if
Yes.
the claims have not been put out there, that's something
Yes.
they do every year.
Yes.
So our claims, are they staying on the lower side?
Yes.
So
That's why we're getting a check.
That's
Yes.
why, that's what I figured,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Every time that Miss Jenny and I meet with our insurance representatives, they're always so complimentary about Rockcastle County Schools and our claims, and I think as far as if you're looking at districts across the state, we're always at the top of that, so. Yeah, I'm proud of that says a lot about our school employees and our principals and all of our department heads of, making certain that people are safety aware.
And another thing, that's the known workers' comp in the state. I mean, that's the one, yeah. I had a question. I don't know if I remember ever reading this before. What it did not include, had the virus and mold, has that always not been included, or is that just something that's come about since COVID?
That's always,
It's always been there.
standard.
Okay, I
Yes.
guess that's just not something that stood out with me.
Yes. Yes, no changes in the coverage or policy at all.
Does anybody have any other questions for Ms. Jenny? If not, we need to, the recommendation is to go with Kimmy.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, item 6C, review and approve the 22-23 school calendar committee, Mr. Redwood.
It's hard to believe, but we got to think about next school year. So calendar committee, as you all know, that's in statute. We have to have a committee to set the school calendar for each year. The positions that are listed there, each of those representatives that's set by statute. This is the minimum requirements. We could have more. For instance, if you see there one district office administrator, I did add Mr. Clark to that because we've got some facility things going on and we want his input in terms of timelines for some of the work, in particular at Mount Vernon Elementary. And so his input will be very important to some of those, to that calendar next year. My goal is that we would meet after this is approved. I plan on it when I've reached out to most of these folks. I plan on trying to meet this week with them and then put together a couple of calendars to look at, let them take that over the break, come back on our PD day on January 3rd. That'll give our school folks time to discuss this on that day, and then we'll meet again. And then I hope to, at our January 11th meeting, to be able to come to you with recommendation for a calendar for next school year. Of course, that has to have 2 readings. So if you approve the first reading at January 11th and the second reading would be the February board meeting, and give us obviously plenty of time to get ready for that. We have to have a board member serve on this committee. So I know Ms. Anna did last year. That was very good experience. So, but obviously, I'll let you all, whoever y'all can find it out, whatever you want to do, whoever wants to serve.
I have absolutely no desire to sit on that committee. Sorry, Marcus.
No desire.
I mean, I don't mind to do it again, but
You
if
did a great
somebody
job
else.
I like this calendar. Y'all did a really good job with it.
I think so too.
I make a recommendation that Anna be our board representative.
Yes.
Second.
Sounds
Okay,
fine.
there you go. You got Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Anna, you
for
stand
being
strong
there.
for us, okay? We like that too. I'll put all the things I like real well.
Yeah,
Give us
just give me little
notes.
notes,
Yes,
girls,
please.
little notes.
I'll email everyone tomorrow.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
We need to approve the school calendar committee. We all got a list of all the representatives, and then we have Miss Anna on there, so motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, item 6D, review and approve the Roundstone Elementary School Special Education Teacher position. Ms. Hubbard?
Yes, we are in need of an additional special education teacher at Roundstone Elementary. We have been over, like they've been over their caseload since the beginning of the school year, and we were able to work it out kind of temporarily. We were splitting that with a high school teacher who had half a caseload at the high school and half a caseload at Roundstone. But now Roundstone's numbers have increased a little bit more, and we have some students coming back off virtual that's going back to Roundstone. So with all that into consideration, we're really in need of an additional teacher there.
So will that position have enough for them alone, or will we have to use them in other
So the
schools also?
teacher that was there, like splitting the time, will go back to the high school position, and then this will be a new position. Is that what you're asking me?
Well, I'm just like the teacher to student ratio.
It will be cap on those, that they can serve 15 students.
Okay.
So we have two current special education teachers at Roundstone, and both have 15, so they cannot take any more.
Okay.
With an addition of a third teacher, that person will have 12,
Oh, wow, so there's
and
not
so
much.
there's not a
Right.
lot of
We've
wiggle
kinda-
room.
Yes,
we've
thank
kinda let
you
it, I
for
guess.
understanding
Yeah.
what I was trying to ask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We kind of
Sorry.
let it go, I guess, as long as we could, to this point,
Absolutely.
trying to make arrangements other ways, but I feel like we really, need that position now.
How does that affect our site-based allocation? I mean,
Site-based allocations for special
Okay.
education teachers are in addition to the regular allocation.
okay,
And
I
those are
thought there was
based on,
difference.
solely based on the numbers of students being served.
I hate that you need one. But I think that we need to do what we can do for our kids, for sure, so. Will this be I guess my next question, are you thinking of a new person a new hire, or is this gonna be someone within the district move? I'm just curious, funding wise, I'm
We have to post this position, so if someone from a different school was interested, they could apply, but everyone will have to apply.
But this is a completely created new
It
position.
is.
It's a
So it's
creative-
nothing
that's
that's
what I
gonna
was
be-
thinking, it's a
Yes,
creative
yes.
new.
Not a
It is
teacher
a-
position that's gonna go to this position.
it's
It's just
No, it's
completely
just,
new.
yes, and again, it's a compliance,
Yeah,
sure.
special education teachers are only allowed to have X number of students on their caseload. And we've tried to, we've operated this half of a school year by splitting from the high school in Roundstone and trying to be very conservative and looking at our budget, but now that more students have qualified, we're just have reached that limit that this is no longer an applicable plan.
So do you think, like, if there's a new position, like, as these students go from grade school, like, to middle school, can this teacher, like,
Move with them.
like, if there's not as many, or
So
would they have
we
to stay there?
consulted with Teresa Combs, who is our attorney, because initially we wanted to, if with board approval, we wanted to post this as an itinerant position, in case we needed to do just that next year. She has advised that we need to hire this for Roundstone for now. The only way we could hire it as itinerant is if he or she were in fact splitting between schools currently. But when they're hired to serve one school, they have to serve that school. But when we issue a hire letter, we'll put a statement in that hire letter that your placement for this year will be Roundstone Elementary. We will look at further needs in the future to see school placement.
So we have 42 children identified special ed at Roundstone, is that right? Or
Yes.
by the time,
Yes, by the
yes, people come back?
And how does that compare to the other two elementary schools? I don't know our teacher ratio there, special ed.
Roundstone is the smallest elementary school, so we have less special ed teachers there. I didn't think about all the numbers, but I know, we probably have about an even amount between Broadhead and Mount Vernon as far as teachers.
And students, do you know the ratio, is it comparable?
I could pull that up and get that for you real quick, right off the top of
It
my
just
head.
does seem like a
A lot.
large amount
So-
of kids at the small school.
But Roundstone is probably has a less amount than the other two.
Yes,
Yes.
because they have
Yes,
less total,
Any questions?
It just has to be done.
All right, need a motion to approve the Rhinestone Elementary School Special Education Teacher position. Got a
I'll
motion
second.
and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Item 6E, review and approve the amendment to the Rockcastle County High School and Rockcastle County Middle School 4-hour cook and baker position. Ms. Jamie?
So the middle school and high school both have 4-hour cook positions, but with the additional, work that's required for like second chance breakfast, and we're back to using dish rooms more now, not much disposable stuff because we can't get it. There is a need for more hours. Also at the high school, we have a larger number of students, and we're also hoping, if you all remember before COVID, we had just redone the high school, cafeteria area and had opened our third line, which was, more like cold items like salads and sandwiches that you could get any day. Yeah, they loved it. It was a huge success. And then for social distancing, we had to kind of take that out. So with the increased numbers there, and then also adding that back, that would also require more time. And then another thing that we bring into this year, of course, is a shortage of subs. So what we do a lot of times is just move people from school to school. So if everybody is fully staffed, it's much easier to just say, this person, would you care to go to Broadhead tomorrow? Those type of situations. And then obviously a 4-hour position, it's very hard to keep a staff member in that. It's just, it's not many hours. Really all they're getting is benefits. So with a 6-hour position, that's much more desired.
So will you be able to take some of the 4-hour positions and just make them 6? You won't have to do new people. You'll just increase their time.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. It'd be a lot, this
I'm
is
sure they'll
really
be
hard
thankful.
to get subs, so it's worked out better this year just saying, can you go to this school, or, and as long as there's a full staff, it just makes that a little bit easier too.
Do you feel like is it hard to get subs across all the schools about the same? Is it not for one versus the other?
Well, we work from one list, so our subs work at
Okay.
every school,
Gotcha.
but right now we're really doing good to maintain one sub that can work every time you need them. A lot of other people will sub and have multiple other jobs, and you can't blame them for that.
Sure.
It's just,
Now, our subs do not pay into any type of retirement or nothing because they're not, do they? Oh, they do? Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
How many employees is this? You may have already said. What will this affect additional hour-wise? How many cooks?
I would just be.
2. You
so
might have
there's
already told me
2
that. I'm so
4-hour
sorry.
positions, and
Thank
they'll
you.
become 6 instead of 4. Just 2.
Good luck finding people there. You must have a better persuasion than other people, you think?
Well, when it's full time, if you can get a full time
Big
spot,
difference.
it's much different.
It would be very hard for anyone to take on that part-time job right now.
6 hours is really a desired spot too, because you can drop your child off at school, go straight into work, and then you're off by 2:30, so you're off right in time to get them. So it's
So it
It's an
works
easier
perfect for a
position to
mom
fill.
or some dad that, yeah. And no, you can't teach a hungry child.
No.
No, you cannot.
Well, listen, I hear nothing but compliments from all of your staff.
every now and then with social media, you never know how things are going.
Well, no, I hear compliments, and I have a child who's like the 50th kid in the world, and she sings their praises every day. So, that's like.
We eat a lot of school lunch from the office, so I feel like it's always great.
Yeah, Carabella's even asked me to ask for the recipes to a few things, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that.
That chicken pasta, I want for that. Really good. Think it's new, good.
And Jamie, when we get ready for a new Broadhead kitchen, I'll support you on that. They showed it to me today, and I was looking for the rest of it. I was like, and they were asking, and we need a new kitchen.
Yeah, let's worry about a middle school
Yeah.
before we worry about a kitchen.
So that's new school.
I just said when it comes up, I'll support you.
But on this, I'll make a motion.
Yes.
Perfect.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
I do appreciate you, Miss Jamie. You know, all the hard work, not just you, all of you, but, that is such an important role, feeding our kids and making sure that need is met. So, holds a very soft spot to me.
It's all been in the school stuff.
Item number 7 is review the superintendent's personnel action report.
Okay, you all can take a look at that and see if you have any questions.
I would just, what jobs do we have posted currently?
We have a middle school, 2 middle school special education positions open currently. And then we will be posting the Brownstone special education position that you just approved. And we have a posting at Broadhead for special education.
That's the only job postings we have right now.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions? Do they have any?
No.
Okay. Department reports, you have those. Anybody have any questions for anyone?
I just had a quick question on the iReady. How overall were our scores?
We have shown some tremendous growth in iReady from fall to winter. The window stays open till the February 1st. A lot of schools are going to strive to get it finished before Friday, but we will have a few kids that are kind of struggling. We have most of the MyRock Online students who have not taken it yet. They're going to come in January. They schedule those times during January that they're going to come in and take that. But our reports and our growth is phenomenal right now.
Good. Awesome.
Yes.
I think 8th grade's in the middle of it right now. Am I correct?
Yes.
Today and tomorrow, and then I know
And
Mount
7th
Vernon.
grade is too, yeah.
Yeah. So
If we get all of that wrapped up by the January board
We'll-
meeting, then
we'll-
we'll
I would love to
present
see
that
that.
data.
it'll be an encouragement, I think.
Yes.
For
I
everybody.
didn't want to give reports now because it's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
so much different in January when everybody
I'm
finishes.
anxious.
Yes.
So that is what grades? All
That's
grades.
K through 12.
Okay, so kindergarten is tested on.
Yes, and our high school's gonna test their first day back, so they're gonna test on the 4th when they come in.
And if you've not seen the way that works, it's really neat. I know it's
I've got Carabella's,
yeah. So you've seen it. It's really interesting how
Yeah.
they break it down by every different way they can. So I think it's really cool.
I was just gonna have a question on the quote, the sound quote. What was this
So
for?
let me talk about that.
Sure.
I was over here like, hey, pick me. So last month at the end of the meeting, Mr. Hammond asked me to get a quote to make the sound louder when we stream. So of course we have a microphone there. I think the sound's okay. So first of all, here's what I think. I think the sound's okay. I listen to the playback from YouTube and I hear it okay. You probably have to turn up the sound a lot. It's, I know they can hear the band good today, right? But, the microphone's there. If you project your voice toward the microphone, it's gonna pick it up. It does pretty well. Mr. Hammond asked me for a quote. Well, this room's kind of hard to do a quote for a sound system because this room moves. Today we had 2 classes of kindergartners here watching a movie today. So if the floor was moved, we had popcorn and drinks, and that's what we had today. So it's hard to do a sound system. So what I did was a voice enhancement system, which would basically mic all of you guys and make your voices louder, and then the microphone could pick it up better, and it would all work the same way. It would just be a more portable system. I did that because this was cheaper than what a sound system would be. It's still $13,500.
But you're saying when you went back and listened to us that you could hear us clearly?
I can if I project my voice toward the microphone and I talk, then yes. Now,
I
if
do
I'm
get
talking like
complaints.
this, then no,
I do get complaints from people saying, "Oh, I wanted to hear it, but I couldn't hear." And I think it's just if we project louder, it may help.
I noticed when I've done one Zoom meeting, and I noticed when I was doing that, you have trouble.
As it
Zoom
goes
is
out.
different, so that's a different thing, because for Zoom, the microphone is behind you, the camera's up there on the screen.
Okay, because
So
I
that's-
heard.
So everybody's literally facing the other way, where if they're looking at you, then a couple of them maybe they're
Okay,
looking at you.
yeah, I
So that's a
heard.
different kind of a
I heard
situation.
nothing from the outside folks, and unfortunately, Mr. Trent, you gave your presentation that night, and I just watched you. I didn't hear anything you said through the whole thing. So whenever anyone is out there, there was no projection. I mean, there was no sound whatsoever. So that was the only thing I could go by because that's the only thing I was watching.
So this would fix that, because this would mic every person, with the speaker that would just enhance. It would give us a microphone for someone speaking, if they held that mic, and it would give that for you all. But again, $13,500, and I feel like that's a pretty good, it just seemed high to me. So, but I was gonna present that, Mr. Hammond, because he asked me for that. Of course, he's
I
not
mean,
here,
I
but-
think that's doing the YouTube. I think that's all. That's great. That's modern. That's the way to go. But we can also encourage people, if they can't hear us on the YouTube, they're always welcome to come.
My only thing would be, could we get in any trouble if they couldn't hear us? you understand what I'm saying? Like,
We
if
have
we are
minutes. We have
promoting
minutes
that we
already.
are
That's right.
being
I think that's all we
live,
have to have is minutes.
then
Yeah, we don't have to even do the YouTube.
yeah, that would be my only concern. Would we get in trouble?
We don't
I mean,
have
or
to.
is there anything that states that?
Brandon, do you feel like that there's any way that we could meet that same goal in a cheaper way? Or is this the,
So, you know, we could get an audio system that tied into to the YouTube streaming and all that, and that, I knew that would be more. So this was the cheaper option, which is basically just mic everybody, have a speaker to enhance your audio for you guys. I think this is.
Not
no.
even like wired.
My answer is no, I think this is it. And that's kind of why I didn't present it, or we didn't really move forward, because I thought, hey, I was kind of shocked by the price. And this is a company we've dealt with several times. I know their prices are consistent. It's the company that put in the high school's auditorium, sit at the auditorium. We bought document cameras and smart boards before from them. So it's a company that I know the sales rep, and I know
So
we're getting.
where is our sound currently? Just right here?
The microphone is there, yes.
Okay. And then if we're doing Zoom, it's there.
If Zoom for the person on the other side. But now, the people streaming could have heard you talk on Zoom just fine. It was your audio that was limited, but we can do some things to fix that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's not almost $14,000 fix, right?
Sure.
That's just because in those cases, the way the room's set up, the board members were facing this way, and your microphone that you could hear them with was behind them. You know, so they're literally talking this way while the microphone's behind.
My biggest concern that day was guests, you know, because like I said, Mr. Trent had made his presentation. So if we had like our auditor were to come next month and give his presentation, to make sure that they are heard properly. And if they are, I mean, I've never watched a video, so
So
I'm gonna take your word for it.
if they're standing right there, or when you all speak, is that projected
And that's
well,
why-
even though
part
it's
of why I've
behind?
been putting that podium there, because
It projects better, it's more right
Okay.
underneath, okay.
I think if we just speak, maybe if we speak louder, it may help.
I would encourage you.
That would probably be the cheapest.
Don't, of course, don't cover your.
Well,
don't
that
cover
may
your-
be
Right, and that
another
might be good
thing,
too without masks.
having a mask,
That's
you're
true.
muffled,
That's true.
you know, so.
and just making certain that our hands aren't covering our face, or that we're projecting and.
And don't-
I've always had a
Speak up.
loud mouth, so I'm sure no one's had any trouble hearing me.
I agree though, I think it is kind of as we
Mhm.
kind of fan out, it gets a little.
Sound stuff is expensive anyway, you know, it's hard to get right. I'm not an expert on sound stuff or streaming stuff, you know, I kind of put that together. I try to do everything as cheap as I can do it, but that's the price, you know, I just wanted y'all to see. If y'all think we need to purchase that, you're the
I
one.
think that unless we have a lot of complaints that come to us, I think that just needs to be as is right now.
I agree.
I mean, if,
I agree.
that's my personal
Table it, I
opinion.
agree with that.
I mean, but if we by any means, if we have the public that comes to us, then, because it is their tax dollars that would be purchasing it, so.
And we can reposition the tables moving forward and maybe close ourselves in a little bit more and pull these end tables around so that we're closer to that microphone, and see if that helps as well.
I've actually got 3 of those microphones. I tried to add them, but it causes feedback when you have the 3 together, so it doesn't really work good without a sound system. But that's lots more expensive, you know, that's lots more expensive equipment. So we're kind of limited to 1. You know, my first thought was, I can just sit those on the table, because they're wireless too. I'll just sit them on the table, they'll be great. I'll put one on each table, everything will be fine, but yeah, that just caused more trouble than it did.
And there's no way to drop down like another thing and point mics outward? Or would they do the feedback also?
We could do, we could do something like that, but again, then we're looking at.
Oh, I was saying the ones that you have already, though.
No, they
no.
can't work, they will, because the mics won't sync exactly right, there will be a delay with one and not with the other, and it'll cause feedback against each one, you know.
I understand now.
Well, I just think that we should just
Hold on.
hold on.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
Mrs., how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think we should hold off. We'll try to talk louder.
We'll yell.
All right. Anyone else have anything from the department reports? Anyone have anything you want to say? No? Okay. Board comments, Miss Angie?
No, should everybody have a great holiday season. That's about all. It's been a great first semester, I guess you would call it, first part of the year.
Yeah.
So, and again, I've completed my whole year, first year being on the school board, so it's been great. And thanks for everybody's support. that's all I got.
I just wanted to brag on the schools today. I talked too much, so I didn't get around to all the schools. But I did go to Roundstone, and I actually walked in and their kids were practicing their Christmas performance, and it just warmed my heart. Security's great. They all needed to know who I was.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
but kudos to the music teacher there. It was great. And then I loved at Roundstone they had, I don't even remember, it was a Santa workshop maybe. No, that's not what it's called. But anyway, the kids could go and shop and like buy things in there. And I just like noticed like it's, you know, the staff, not just the teachers, but just the staff of the schools, they do so much more, you know, to make it enjoyable and memorable. And I know with COVID, it's been hard to do those things. So it was just like a breath of fresh air to see the kids be able to do that. And I got to visit Mr. Cook today in the tech center, and that's my passion too, is just life skills. I didn't realize there's like real cars, like this, like
They do
like,
real repairs.
They
do real repair.
There's hospital beds with like, it's just awesome. It is so awesome. And I told him, I was like, if I could have just done this and learned some mechanics to change my own, I've learned a lot of, saved a lot of money, you know, we would especially, but, we got great leaders. We got really great leaders, like the kids hugging the principals and the principals just really respecting their staff, and it was just a great experience today. So just kudos to everybody, and Merry Christmas, and looking forward to a really good next year, believing next year to be great.
Mr. Cook, I hate to be the one to ask this, but are you having any issues with the mask mandate for students? I know your school's a little different. You have to, I believe it's still required, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if there is an end date in sight as far as the mask mandate on state buildings. And although, yes, Rockcastle does own the building, it's state business being conducted there. We are state employees, and our students are visitors to our state facility. So that's why, you know, we continue to have to mask. It's not me. It comes from way farther up than I am. But we will comply as best we can. Right now, we are treating it like we would any other personal protective equipment or PPE. Welding has, you know, you've got to have helmets and gloves and long pants and boots and so forth, and safety glasses, and we're just trying to emphasize this as another part of the PPE requirements for now. There's some rocky times. There's been some rocky times and situations, but overall, I guess it's not too bad. But I am happy that Rockcastle County Schools as a whole has been able to make it mask optional. I'm tickled to death for that, for all the teachers, the students, everybody involved, and completely understand that and support that. But we'll continue to do the best we can with the requirements that we have, and make the best of the situation for as long as it goes on.
How many students do you have that come in your school?
Approximately 375 unduplicated as far as our program, and then all of the ROTC students that would come through the course of the day. So probably approaching right around 500 students, give or take a few, between us and ROTC.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy your families, and you know, I seen that we were going to stuff the bus, and I'm not for sure who's going to get the pleasure of driving that bus down, Mr. Hopkins. I'm thinking probably you.
No, it's going to be a fight. No, it won't be a
That
fight.
they all want to.
We've had a lot of volunteers. We'll probably have to draw straws.
Well, that's great though. That means that people are concerned.
I was expecting to go, but I'm glad that some of them that want to will get the opportunity to.
And that's all at all schools, right? We're collecting at all schools, and then it'll go to a generalized location. That's just for my clarification.
Yes.
Thanks.
So, I'll jump in just and comment
Perfect.
about that. I had it on my superintendent communication, so I'll jump in and talk about that. we initially put out a flyer in communication that we were collecting flashlights, batteries, work gloves, and water. But as we have all seen on the news and on social media, those needs are changing very quickly. And our friends in Western Kentucky are running out of storage space. So I was on a superintendent call today, and there were 3 superintendents on there from Western Kentucky of the 3 hardest hit districts. And it was really, really a moving experience to listen to them and to listen to how those school systems are dealing with this tragedy that they've been faced with, and just the raw emotion that they showed of just school right now is on the back burner, but that in times of need, it's our school employees and our schools that step up and serve their communities. And they commented that within 30 minutes, people were in the school seeking shelter, that they knew that that's where they could go, that the school would be open and the school would be there to serve. And it just made me really proud to be an educator, to know that's what we do and that's what school districts do. But they're running out of space, so their needs that they are now requesting gift cards, for fast food gift cards or Visa gift cards, Walmart gift cards, and they have expressed an interest in like $25 increments that Family Resource Center directors can give to families directly, that they can go out and get what they need. So we are shifting gears in our collection, and that's what we are asking for. Tomorrow night, the student council will be doing a Stuff the Bus drive-through event at the high school from 5:30 to 7. And if you have anything you want to donate, you can drive through and drop off to them, and Mr. Hopkins will have a bus there for them. So we're receiving donations at all of our schools. So proud of the outpouring with our community. We're getting calls daily, and about what can I do to help, how can I support. So just really proud of that work that we're doing to help them, to try to help and assist.
And just real quick, medical blood donation. If anybody is wants to be a blood donor, that's important right now. Not only they've lost lives, but there's probably been a lot injured, so they could really do that too.
And as we close out our year, I think it's important just to realize how much we do have to be thankful for. And our families. It could have been very different for Rockcastle County, and I think we just need to be thankful for our many blessings, and thankful, but at the same time willing to jump in and help those who are experiencing difficulties right now. And that's what community is about, and that's what that we're called to do as servants, is to help those in need. So very proud of all of our school groups, our high school, our middle school, all of our elementary schools. They're doing those drives, and those kids have been so involved and wanting to help out, and it's just been really touching to see and watch and experience. Let me say one more thing. Also wanted to report back to you all about quarantines and positive cases of COVID-19 since masks became optional. On the last board meeting that we had, the special called board meeting, at that time we had 31 students in quarantine on that day and 15 positive cases. Currently we have 27 students in quarantine, so we have less students in quarantine, and we have 16 positive cases, and this is as of yesterday. So we had 1 additional positive. So, feeling good about at this point, these numbers are coming back very positive. One last thing that I'll report out is if you'll recall, I started the Superintendent Advisory Committee. Last month was our first meeting. We meet prior to our board meetings, and just wanted to say what a positive experience that has been. Met with them last month. They provided some really great feedback and suggestions. We were able to implement some changes, and then as they reported back today, just to see that positive outcome of that, of listening to the school needs and being able to assist. What I've told them over and over is our goals don't change, but as we take different paths to reach our goals. I think it's important to listen to our staff and listen to our teachers and be willing to try something different if what we're doing is not working to reach that same goal. So I just value their input and appreciate their time. I mean, it's extra work on those people that are coming after school. They've worked and taught all day and they're coming to just to help make our district stronger. So just wanted to give them a shout out and thank
How
them.
many people do you have that do that?
One per school.
One per school.
Mm-hmm. So it's a really, it's becoming a good tight-knit group, and I appreciate their comments and their help and them going back and getting feedback from their schools and then bringing that back in. So positive experience, and we will be starting the Student Advisory Council in January. So we will have a 5th grade student from each elementary school represented, and then our middle school and high school student council will be part of that group. So looking forward to meeting with those kids in
You'll
January.
enjoy that.
I know I will. I'm excited.
That might be the perk of your day.
That's all that I have.
All right. Well, like I said, Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy your families. And I did want to tell everyone to pass the word along. I think this Saturday is Operation Give Hope. If you know of any families in our community that struggle at Christmas time and meet needs for their families, encourage them to go. It's a great event. So pass the word along. I'm sure Miss Regina's already encouraging it. But with that being said, thank you everybody, and need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.